Hey, it's Ryan with QLZ. We're back at the Green Room, another home edition. Thanksgiving is done, so it's time to get back in the swing of things before Christmas. We're talking with Jamie. You are you're the man for Calamity Kills, man, front man, and I know this is a brand new project for you.
Yeah.
So it's nice, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to be here on QLZ, and I thank you for taking this time for me. And yeah, it is kind of a one-man project. To be honest, Calamity Kills started out as a solo record for me. And then once I started recording it, I realized it didn't really sound like solo artist music. It sounded like a band. And so I was kind of inspired like people like Trent Reznor, and people like even to an extent, Beartooth is kind of like, it's Caleb, it's kind of his band.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I wanted a band identity and so I named it Calamity Kills. And, like I said, I've been making music for decades. You know what I mean? I'm not new to the game, so to speak, but this is a really fresh start for me, and it's pretty wonderful.
And I know, just looking at Facebook the other day, because everybody's got their raps and whatnot going of everything to listen to the last few years. And again, streaming is an interesting thing, especially with radio. For me, I've been able to find a lot of great bands with it and everything else.
Yeah,
share that
of course.
People like you've only been doing this, you said, for a couple of months. Like you've been around for a while in the industry, but kind of like what made you want to form, I guess, this new group?
Calamity Kills. Like I said, I had made a record, and I did a Kickstarter thing a few years ago, and I'm embarrassed to say this on rock radio, but I kind of went through a phase where I really liked like modern country pop rock. And so I made a record that kind of dabbled in that a little bit. And and to be fair, my brother-in-law is a major country artist writer. He's had multiple number ones, even from Luke Combs and whatnot. So I've been exposed to that industry a little bit. But at my core, I've always been a rock guy. And I never sit down and think I'm going to write this type of song or this type of song. I just started writing music, and I realized it was sounding heavier and heavier and heavier. And I realized, man, I'm full in rock mode. And I love it. I'm having so much fun. My voice is at home there. And so I did a Kickstarter and got the record funded and started making it. And actually it took almost a year. My musical partner is Jamie Perrineau, whose credits, he was Taylor Swift's musical director for 2 years. And once again, you got another country guy who's a rock guy. And he's just, he's an old school Van Halen shredder. But he's great. So he and I started working on the record, and along the way we brought in some friends. We were able to get Korn, Ray Luzier from Korn in on the record. And Jamie knew Greg Upchurch from Three Doors Down, who plays on I Still Believe, which was the first single off the record. And we just made a record with some of our friends, man. And I love it. It's out, and it came out. I don't have a record label. It's just word of mouth. It's the fan base, and it's unfortunately for me, it's been radio too the last few months. So. And here we are. So I'm just kind of hoping Calamity Kills Mania takes effect in 2024. And I'm having a blast regardless. So it's pretty wonderful. So
that's awesome. I know, like you said, I mean, you've been doing this for a while. You work with Ray, you work with some of the guys from Three Doors Down. Kind of like, what's it like at this point in your career, just kind of getting to make some music just with some buddies?
Dude, well, the best thing I did, and it took me a while to get this stuff like that, but never to chase anything. Just let it be and enjoy the thing. But what I love is like with Ray, I mean, all these guys have become friends too. It wasn't just, like, hey, they came in and guested on a record and got paid. I got a text from Ray last week, and everything. Like we've got, he lives not too far from me, and it's been great. But to hear them come and like to watch them get excited about the songs, and everything, and put their own personal spin on it. Like even Ray's like self-editing, like, dude, let me do that again. I can do that better. And he's looking at me, he goes, you got to live with this. Is this great? And everything like that. Yeah, dude, I love it. And he's killing. He's absolutely killing it. You know what I mean? So it's rewarding to hear the ideas in your head come to life, and then have people have it resonate with people. Absolutely.
That's awesome. And I know I Still Believe is the track. Obviously, if people know the Lost Boys movie, it's you and you putting your own spin on this track.
Yes.
Why was this the track, I guess, for you to go in and to cover against the song that I told you they are a spotlight that we do. It's a feature that we do 8:30 in the morning every weekday. December 7th is when we're getting the track on. But why was maybe this the track for you to be like, man, this is what I want to cover, and this is what I want to put my own spin on?
Actually, what's kind of cool about this whole story is actually I made the record, and I originally I wanted to do a cover song, and I was actually in the shower. And a playlist came on, and the song was originally done by a band in the 80s called The Call. Michael Bean wrote it. A lot of people don't know that. It's the Lost Boys version is actually a cover as well.
Okay.
But the a call song came out. And I thought, let me hear I Still Believe. Then I went after that. So keep in mind, I don't have any hair. I'm bald. Hey. But if I were to watch my hair, I'm in the shower and I'm listening to the song. And I was like, oh, let me hear the Lost Boys version. And I got out of the shower and I realized, man, I wrote this out. I've got to record this. So I grabbed my acoustic guitar, did like a quick arrangement. And the thing is, I never want to do just a straight up cover. I kind of want to reimagine it, make it our own. So we added that little section, like I noticed in the bridge where it goes, I will wait for you and everything. I thought that was a great little hook. So I came up with I will wait and made that its own hook. But I love it. And the thing is, funny, after I made that choice to do this thing, later I heard another 80s cover song was from Information Society to I Want to Know What You're Thinking. And in my head, I heard another arrangement of that and stuff. And I'm thinking, well, I can't really put two 80s cover songs on the record. And I realized, well, hold on. I'm in charge here. I can do whatever I want. You know what I mean? So I did. I put two 80s cover songs on the record and here we are. But man, I still believe I love the message of it because, we live, obviously it's a crazy time in the world. And I think it delivers. Ultimately, there's a theme of hope in the thing and just endurance and like surviving and fighting and like having faith that, man, I'm going to get through this. And I think that resonates with a lot of people. And like I said, I didn't write the song lyric and stuff like that, but I wish I would have, because I think it's a powerful song.
Yeah. And I feel like the holidays right now too. Like, I mean, some people love the holidays. For some, it's a rough time because like I'm home. I've been home on Christmas Day in 5 years. I'm going home on Christmas Day for the first time in 5 years this year, which I'm very much looking forward to. So I feel like I got this song that's got a lot of hope and a great message behind it. It's here at the holidays too, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
was it the plan to get out during the holidays? I know you said it's been out for a little while. But.
No, not at all. Actually, that actually wasn't going to be my first choice to introduce the world, because I didn't honestly. I wanted to come out with the songs that I had written myself, obviously. But early on, whenever, I talked to some radio promoters and whatnot and stuff, they kind of zeroed in on that song. And, originally and stuff, it made its radio debut on another network. And just the people really like embraced that. And I think it was the thing like, oh, wow, this is a cool take on the Lost Boys cover. A lot of people, they just, that's what resonates with them, the Lost Boys movie. And it was near the Halloween season. So a lot of people were having like, they were having showings of the Lost Boys, kind of like they did, what's that one film, the Rocky Horror Show, people are having late night. And so there's been a resurgence of that. And I think that benefited from that. But I think once people heard it a few times and stuff, they kind of scratched the surface. Like, this is a really good song. It has nothing to do with the season. It's just a really good song. So here we are. And I'm talking to you because of it. Yeah. So
it's funny because we get a blast again with radio. We get a blast out to us whenever new stuff is released. And we've got a Christmas tune from you now as well. So you had some for Halloween, and I know I believe it came out on Thanksgiving. It's here now to radio for Jingle Bells Sleigh. And what I love, obviously, again, you put your own spin on this.
Yeah.
But also you're spelling sleigh in a different way, which I also appreciated. I was like, all right, this is the little nugget right here.
It's the sleigh. Yeah, that was actually, it's funny. And you and I talked off air, and I'll tell your listeners this as well. That was the week before Thanksgiving. My musical partner, Jamie Perino, and we had this like random thing. Let's do a Christmas song. And we played around with some different ideas. Originally, we were going to do the Grinch song, Mr. Grinch. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. And that I grabbed my acoustic guitar and had this like really cool, like almost Tim Burton-esque, Jingle Bells thing, which is kind of dark and kind of thing, because it's such a happy song. And I took a kind of a dark take on it. I thought that was cool. But, it's more similar to like a band like Marilyn Manson or Motionless in White even and stuff. It's kind of got that dark brooding thing. And we literally recorded the music on Sunday. I sang it on Monday. It went to mix on Thursday, mastered on Tuesday, and released on Friday. That's how fast you can make music in the modern era. So, and like I said, and we're recording this December 1st for next week, but it hit radio today. So let's hope people will play it. But it's, there are some people who hate holiday music, and there are some people that can tolerate it if it's like this. So
I do too. That's kind of where I've been. My last couple of stops have been, okay, like I'm not playing, the traditional sounding Christmas tunes. If I hear enough in stores, like that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hear. But like when a rock station, we have like, we can play like Corey Taylor with some stuff. And now we've got from you where it's like it's got that kind of gothic feel to it. I was like, I'm not like I haven't dove into Type of Negative like a ton. Obviously,
Yeah.
but that's kind of the first kind of feeling I got when I listened to the song this morning. I was like, it's kind of
Right
like
on.
like you said, Manson feel. It's got the Type of Negative kind of feel to it, the
Yeah.
gothic, with the gothic feel to it, which is cool.
I like a lot of cinematic music, man. I really do. And so that's it's like, to me, I want to be able to, like, even with I Still Believe and both the songs, I think when you hear them, I want it to sound like an audio movie, if that makes sense. And so I'm really drawn to that. That's kind of like one of the things I'd like to be known for, with Kills.
Awesome. And again, like this project is new this year. And a lot of times when it comes kind of the end of the year, Jamie, I always like to ask bands what they have planned for next year. I kind of want to ask you it a little bit of a different way. Again, with this project being, very new and fresh, and it's off to a great start. But what are you, I think, looking forward to maybe the most going into next year? Obviously, don't want to rush. I Still Believe and everything else, but like got this project now. But like, what are you really like excited about for next year for this project and the next steps you want to take?
I'm actually excited about even though, like I said, we just recorded this debut record. I'm really excited about recording new music. I've already got 2 or 3 songs that I just think are just insanely good, and just kind of, it's already a growth from the record, which I love. But there's a song on the record called Dark Secrets that I really think we haven't released that. We haven't released that to radio yet, but there's your pup.
Yep, there's Jay. Somebody packages from this year got
I understand it. So,
I think you're the first person I've interviewed that I've warned and said, hey, the dog might bark at the mailman.
But you know what's good about that? So we just created a memory. So that's good. You'll always remember this. So
exactly.
No, but I mean, I'm excited about, and I can totally deal with that. If your listeners can, I can too. It's rock and roll. It's a dog. We all love our dogs. So I was just going to say that I think in 2024, I want to record some new music. There's a song called Dark Secrets. I think eventually I want to release that and do some music videos and get behind. I think there's a lot of stuff on the record that goes pretty deep that's going to resonate with people. And more importantly too, is if you're a rock and roll band, you got to play live, man. And I cannot wait to get this stuff on stage and and just build a show that's something that doesn't just look like a bunch of people staring at their feet playing the songs, man. I want to embrace the theatrics. I love theatrical bands, and just bring that element in, and just make it a spectacle, and just make the music so undeniably good that people walk away thinking, man, that was incredible.
Do you have a band?
I do and I don't. So here's the thing. I'm actually going to kind of keep their identities kind of hidden and keep a little mystique about that. Because to be honest, some of these guys are in bands that you already know and probably you play on the air, then that they're going to be available for some of the times and not necessarily for other times. So it's going to be one of those things. And almost like Slipknot, but with a revolving cast of people who I want. And who but you're always the one person you're going to be able to count on every show is going to be me, obviously. But I've got some surprises, and to be honest, some people you've heard of, some people you've not, but it's going to be cool, man.
Awesome. So, are you able to say when some of this might be?
I'm going to likely start playing out in April of next year.
Okay, awesome, very cool.
And what would be great too is just to, like I said, I can't guarantee anything, but man, if I landed some opening slots at some bigger bands who I've had relationships with, to get us in front of a lot of people in short doses would be freaking amazing. So
awesome. Well, dude,
we'll see.
For you, and again, you're a guy that's excited about full albums and creating full albums. So Jamie, the last question I have for you, it's a question I ask every single band. It used to be a blog feature when I worked in Wisconsin, but your favorite complete albums of all time, your favorite no skip records.
No skip records. Oh my gosh, man. That's of course okay. For me, because like I said, I'm really drawn to theatrical stuff. To me, probably the most defining thing for me, and it's funny because we're in, this is the weekend that the Kiss show is the end of Kiss, supposedly.
Yeah,
supposedly. And my wife and I saw them a couple weeks ago here in Nashville and stuff too. But I would say if I had to have a defining moment, like when I was a preteen and I saw a copy of Kiss Alive 2 and opened up the gatefold and saw the big explosion, and they were Spider-Man and Superman with guitars. That record had such an impact on me. So it made me interested in music as a kid. But I think, man, it's hard. it's hard to say what is the defining record for me because there are so many. And the classic rocking, like I said, Kiss Alive 2, Cheap Trick's Dream Police. That's the classic rock part of me. But I also, even believe it or not, I love the first Third Eye Blind record from the 90s. I love that. In the 2000s, I love a lot of the Manson stuff. I love Hollywood. You know what I mean? Or Hollywood, I should say.
Yeah.
And these days, my favorite record is Calamity Kills. And I'm not afraid to say it.
Dude, that's great though, man. That you're up there supporting your own stuff again.
Yeah.
Jamie, dude, there's a lot of cool things. Again, artist spotlights. I still believe we're getting your version of the very popular song on 8:30 in the morning on December 7th. So
that's awesome.
Thursday. And again, man, we'll figure out Jingle Bells once it gets a little closer to Christmas.
Yeah.
We won't torture the QLZ listeners too much with Christmas music, but I think they'll like it heavier stuff.
Here's an idea then. If you have a segment of the audience that hate Christmas music, you call them up and you ask them a trivia question. If they get it wrong, you have to make them listen to the song.
There we go. We're gonna send this to you directly.
Yes, everything. And they have to videotape themselves listening to it to send it back. And that's it. That's the punishment.
There we go. So, I love it. We want to see the anguish on your face for all of this. I love it. So, dude, Jamie, it was great to meet you, man. I really appreciate your time, dude. And we'll talk in the future.
That sounds great, man.